Now let's test out our solution, and we'll do that by going to our internet computer. And let's open a web browser. And let's type in HTTPS followed by the WAN IP of our firewall. We get the web portal login page. So let's log in as a contractor user who is enabled only for web mode. So let's enter an Active Directory user account that is a member of the contractors group. Great, so we are logged in now, and here you will see a lot of details. So on the top, we see the session information details, which is one of the web options that can be enabled. And this will show the amount of inbound and outbound traffic received in bytes through the established VPN tunnel. There is the login history, there is the connection tool. At the bottom, we see my bookmarks, where I can add my own personal bookmarks to this page. Under servers, this defines the predefined bookmarks, and we added one for our web server. So clicking on that particular link for web server, okay, that will bring up that web page for that internal web server. So you'll also notice that this request was proxied directly from our firewall since we are using tunnel mode. Let's go ahead and close this up. So under connection tool, we can launch different type of applications through a Java applet directly from the web portal, like VNC, SSH, or maybe doing a ping. So for example, let's select ping and let's enter an IP of our user computer, for example. And we'll say go. And doing that, it is reachable. So again, to use some of the other types like VNC, you need to make sure that you have the latest version of Java installed, and we do not have that installed on this computer, so we can't show you that though. But this is the web mode, and nothing was installed on our client. Everything is done through this single web interface, and that is it. So let's go ahead and log out. Now we will log in as a staff user this time. And let's go ahead and log in. Okay, so once we get logged in, we see a few things that are different this time. For one, the page display shows 2 columns instead of 1 column. You will also see tunnel mode, but the Ssl Vpn plugin is not yet installed on this computer. So to download and install that plugin, we'll go to this little widget over here, scroll down, and we'll click here to download. And we'll say save. And once that finishes, let's go ahead and launch the installer. And let's go ahead and start. Now it will begin the install, and it's important to make sure that your system has the correct admin rights to install programs. And this only takes a few minutes. Okay, so now the install of the plugin is completed. Now let's refresh our portal page. Okay, and when we do that, we now see some additional options for tunnel mode where we can connect or disconnect. Let's go ahead and connect to enable the use of tunnel mode. Okay, so now the link status is up and we are connected. And that means that we can now use applications on this computer when accessing services on our internal networks. So we do not need to use our web portal like in web mode to access any of those services. So for example, let's open up a DOS prompt. Try this again. Open up a DOS prompt. And let's confirm if we can reach one of our desktops and servers. Okay, so that's reachable. We can ping that computer. And this is one of our servers. And that's also reachable. So our internet computer is like any other computer that is connected to the local LAN, but virtually through the SSL VPN tunnel. So on the web portal, we can still use other options here as well, just like the bookmarks that was added and used, very similar to web mode. And of course, we can access the connection tools. So since we are connected via tunnel mode, we were assigned an IP address from that address pool that we configured earlier. So let's go ahead and under our DOS prompt, we're typing an IP config. And there it is. So there on the top, there is the IP that is assigned to us. It is 172.17.250.100, the first address listed in the range that we defined. Okay, let's go ahead and let's go back to our firewall. We can monitor our active SSL VPN sessions by going under Monitor and then going to SSL VPN Monitor. And this will show that our user, staff1, logged in from an IP that exists on our lab internet cloud. We even see the actual timestamp. And we also see that we were assigned the IP address of 172.17.250.100, the same address that we saw on the computer. Okay, so when the user is finished using tunnel mode, they can disconnect and the web mode will still be available to them. And basically, that is it. So that's how you can set up and use SSL VPN as a remote access solution on the FortiGate using Active Directory accounts for VPN login.